Adobe shares took a tumble today amidst all the AI disruption that's happening in the design and graphic video industry, as well as the CEO of 18 years stepping down. The stock dropped 7%. And, I've personally felt a lot of impact from AI disruption in the design and creative world. I used to own a business in podcast and social media production, and I still have a couple clients that are grandfathered in. I'm not taking on new clients for that type of work. But AI basically killed my agency. It kind of put us in a place where everybody had access to easily, quickly edit their content and then push out content everywhere. And what essentially it did is it said, hey, in order to be successful in this field, you have to be either super cheap or you have to be very expensive. So either super niche or, again, super cheap, to the masses. And I was kind of in the middle. And it basically said, hey, well, most of your target market are actually not going to want to pay for, $1,500, $2,500 services now. They're just going to use the AI tools themselves. You can use tools like Cast Magic to write show notes and social media posts. If you're recording in Zoom or in Riverside, they have AI tools to automatically create clips. So it really impacted me pretty tremendously, all this AI. In any event, the Adobe CEO Shantanu Narayen led the charge on a bunch of different projects within Adobe, from Photoshop to Illustrator to Premiere Pro. Now, despite Adobe showing revenue growth, their stock has fallen quite a bit. And this is something we've seen during this AI world. I mean, we saw $1 trillion of market cap just get wiped out of the stock market after Claude announced their latest Cowork, which, by the way, I'm going to talk about Cowork a little bit here in the video because it's pretty insane what's possible. I've been playing with it. In any event, Adobe, despite showing revenue growth, had their stock drop 21% last year and then 22% this year. That is not trending in the right direction. And I got to say, investors are very concerned about SaaS as a whole. They're concerned that it's going to be very, very easy for AI to write code, for people to create AI softwares. They're concerned about the entire business model of selling seats. It's not it's not looking good. Now, I was thinking about covering another story today where Oracle CEO is kind of pushing back and saying SaaS is not dead. We're going to hit the golden age of SaaS. And Salesforce CEO Mark Benioff was also kind of trumpeting that. We'll see. Regardless, SaaS is going to be very, very different. And and the investors are concerned, the banks are concerned. And the reality, though, is, looking at Adobe in the design world, as I mentioned before, the barrier to entry for creating high quality video and high quality image is dropped tremendously. It is so easy to create good video now. It's so easy to create good graphics. And I know all my creators out there are gonna be like, Mark, but it's not as good as I can do, and that's fair. But if the average person could create something that's 80% as good as you, with just typing in some prompts, it's pretty insane. It's pretty insane. I'll give you an example here. I've been using Claude Cowork over this past week and a little bit last week to pull data from a bunch of different sources that I manage. And I'm in marketing. For anyone who's new here, if you're new here, smash the subscribe button. By the way, 6 days a week, we're going to be talking about how AI is disrupting the workforce and how you can remain relevant, respected, and financially free. So 6 days a week, smash the like, subscribe. Anyway, I've been using Claude Cowork, and one of the clients that I work with, who's in SaaS, who runs an Amazon optimization SaaS company. We've been crushing it. We've been seeing consistent growth week over week over week over week. So that's pretty cool. In any event, I use Claude Cowork to pull data from our various ad platforms that we're managing, social media channels, emails, YouTube, all these different platforms. And I've been using it to create executive summaries, analysis, using charts, graphs, brand typography, different fonts that we use. And it's been very, very impressive, guys. Very, very impressive. And one of the things I think is really cool about Claude Cowork, it's an app an AI app basically that you download onto your desktop. And it has a bunch of integrations built in. In the past, setting up APIs and webhooks and connecting different softwares together was a bit more complicated. I mean, guys, nothing crazy. If you use Zapier, nothing crazy, but a little bit more complicated. But with Claude Cowork, it is so easy. It is so easy. I mean, there's already a bunch of integrations built in. If you need more, you can go on GitHub and connect more into Cowork. But like I was able to connect it to a bunch of these different softwares that we have in our tech stack, like HubSpot, Slack, Google Cloud, et cetera, and ClickUp and Notion. It's pretty nuts, guys. And in any event, some of the platforms that I needed to draw data from didn't have the API integration. So what Cowork does is it has a Google Chrome extension, and I basically told it exactly what I wanted to do, and it would actually open up a Google Chrome window on its own and start going to work, pulling the data, retrieving, analyzing, and you can actually see it controlling the screen next to you. I've got 3 monitors on my computer, and I can actually see it working my monitor. And it just for about an hour, it's working. It's pulling data, and at the end, it creates this beautiful report, table of contents, better than anything that I could do in an hour, with charts, with graphs, with different ideas. And then I could go and say, hey, tweak this, add some prompts, done. It is shocking. It is really shocking. And this is the type of work that you used to need a designer to do. Now, again, I'm not gonna sit here and say that a professional designer couldn't do it better, but you know, that might cost you a few $100s, if not $1,000, depending on the industry you're in. The analysis is part of it. The revisions are part of it. And now I have 3 different summaries, executive summaries for the various members of the leadership team it looks beautiful. I can present, they can check it out. It's got charts, graphs, it's color coded. It's it's shockingly impressive, guys. Shockingly impressive. Now, Adobe does have a lot of AI tools built into Photoshop. But one of the things that I've noted is there is kind of this shift that I'm kind of highlighting here for this traditional, like super high quality, super in depth, very labor intensive to let's get it done, let's move fast. And that's kind of an example of what I'm highlighting here. Get it done fast. And on top of this example that I've been working on this week, guys, I put together 4 executive summaries without any effort. In fact, I'm just gonna do another quick side note. You know, in the past, the type of work that it's doing is the type of work that I would need to do. And I would say, okay, for the next hour or 2, I'm gonna go through all the data and I'm gonna make conclusions. Now I don't need to do that. Now I just tell my assistant what to do, and it goes out and it works in the background for an hour. And I can watch it working. I can ask it questions. It'll respond back to me. It's not perfect, but I can put all that information through the lens in my expertise, in experience in the industry. I'm a bit flabbergasted, as you may be able to tell. Anyway, it doesn't just stop there, guys. You've probably already noticed this. You go on social media, you look at the various ads that are being used now. They're almost all being created using AI platforms. And at the very least, it's platforms that are being supported with other AI tools. AI tools make it so easy to create tons and tons of creative. All you need to do is pay for the tokens. In some cases, it's almost free. It's really staggering. It's really staggering. It's also worth noting, like different platforms like Meta, for example, they have kind of a plan in place that, you know, they have this Advantage Plus AI system built in. For anyone who's run Meta ads, you know what I'm talking about. But they have this kind of vision moving forward where you don't even have to do the creative. You just set your budget, you set your ideal customer, and it will actually automatically create the graphics. It will automatically create the video, automatically create all that creative, which is, this might be a threat for a company like Adobe, don't you think? Could be. It doesn't even end there, guys. This is, you know, the type of AI content that's being created traditionally in programs like Adobe is now being created for movies using AI. And I covered this last year. There was a Netflix movie. I'll post a link to this video here. It's pretty cool, pretty shocking, however you want to look at it. But Netflix used a Netflix director for a kind of a lower budget movie used AI for their final end scene, you know, with all the explosions and the action. It was a big CGI scene, and the director said the movie would not have been even possible without the use of AI. He said it saved them millions. It also replaced a lot of jobs, actors, background actors, pyrotechnics, directors, all that labor that would have gone into creating that awesome end screen. Didn't need it. Used AI to do it. I mean, the reality here, guys, is that AI impacts every industry. Graphic design is no different. You know, we've covered a bunch this week, everything from attorneys to auto mechanics to software developers and programmers. Everyone is being impacted. YouTubers, marketers, so everyone is going to be impacted, guys. And you know, on one hand, this AI stuff becomes a really fantastic tool for creators. I mean, on one hand, it's possible that this might bring on a renaissance of creativity. Anyone could create. You're only tethered by your imagination, and the best ideas will win. And you can have custom content at the touch of your fingers. It's kind of exciting when you think about it. You know, you don't have to wait 3 years for the next Game of Thrones television show. We'll be able to pump out content so fast. You don't even have to rely on major movie houses to create content. Smaller movie houses with different ideas and different worldviews will be able to create content at scale so fast. On the other hand, it's possible that the quality of the content is going to be so low and there's going to be so much quantity of AI slop that everything gets drowned out and we all become retarded. We all lose our minds. We all become idiocracy. We become Wall-E. Fat, lazy, stupid, unable to concentrate, unable to read. By the way, for all my dads out there that have kids, do you make your kids read? Is that something that's required of them? Quick question. Anyway, regardless, anyone in design, editing, production needs to know what's happening with Adobe. You've got to see it. You've got to read the tea leaves, so to speak. Change is here. Change is here. And it's not just them. It's not just them. We need to be taking note because AI impacts us all. And seeing what's happening in industries like design, like video, it gives us context clues as to what's happening here. And again, on this channel, and subscribers know this, on the channel, we're covering all these different industries, and you can start to see a rhyme between the types of people and the types of roles that are being laid off and removed amongst different organizations. And it's a kind of a scary time in one way, but it's kind of exciting. Regardless, glad to have you here as a viewer. Make sure you have subscribed, and I'm gonna get back after it because I'm gonna go see what Claude Cowork has created for me. It is unbelievable, unbelievable. Maybe I'll put on a workshop. If you want a workshop, type workshop in the comments below, and I'll think about hosting a workshop to kind of share how I'm using Cowork, and maybe we'll get into that. Anyways, if you liked the video, you know what to do, and watch yesterday's video where we talk about another massive layoff announcement. Atlassian just gutted 1,600 employees. They want to go all in on AI. They're turning the tides. They're going all in on AI, and they're firing people like crazy. Check it out. The video's right here. I'll see you there.